My name's Cora, and I was referred to Dr. Handoo when I moved from Springfield, Missouri up to Kansas City by my psychiatrist at the time. I've struggled with depression since I was a teenager, except at that point in time they didn't know, that it was a problem. I also have ADD and severe anxiety. When I came to Dr. Handoo, I had been struggling with depression for more than 20 years, both organic depression and postpartum depression on top of that. And I had tried all the medications, all the combinations of medications, off-label medications. Nothing worked. I had had a previous psychiatrist kill himself after being the last patient to see him for the day. And I decided his problems were worse than mine, and I threw my meds away. I was very non-compliant, and it had come to the point that my husband and my daughter told me that if I didn't get help, I couldn't live at home anymore. I'm very much of the opinion that everything is snake oil until proven otherwise. And I had had gene site testing done because of all the medications that I had tried, and that's when I discovered that my receptors don't work appropriately, which is why the medication never worked, because medication either worked really well until it didn't, or it did nothing at all. And it was very frustrating all the way around because you're looking so desperately for something to fix you, and there's nothing. And it had come to a point that I was functional, I could go to work, but I was a very, very angry, very hateful person. And I wasn't a good mom, and I wasn't a good wife. And I needed to do something different. Dr. Handoo was just starting TMS therapy and had asked me to take part in that because he had changed my medication, and I was actually on a medication that was almost working. You can tell that it was better-ish, but it wasn't enough, but there really wasn't any other medication that they could do. And my options at the time were either TMS or electric shock therapy. And I didn't really want to go route of the lobotomy, so I figured TMS was the lesser of the evils. The impact TMS had on my life was significant. They told me it might take a few weeks to kick in. It's a six-week program, and you've got to go an hour a day, and it's a commitment and all of that. And my husband and my best friend at the time made sure that I made all my appointments and made sure that I was taking my medication like I was supposed to. And initially you have to answer the 9 questions, and then you have to do that periodically throughout. And I'm just like, whatever, this isn't gonna work either. It's snake oil. I'm just done. I'm just doing this because you all said I had to, so here I am. And people around me noticed the difference before I noticed the difference. And probably about 2.5, 3 weeks in, I'm filling out the question, and I realize, hey, no, I'm really not struggling with this week so much. And then I'd look for my score to go down the next week, and look for my score to go down the next week. And it got to where I could look in the mirror and I could see an actual person, and I could have a train of thought, and I looked forward to being able to do things. It wasn't just going through the motions of life and just, oh boy, I'm awake again. It's like, oh, I can get up and I can do this and I can do this. And before the end of TMS, towards the end, my score was down to 4 or 5. I think the most significant impact it has is I'm 7 years out from my original treatment. And right after treatment started, my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. And he died 9 months after I finished treatment. If I wouldn't have gone through TMS, I'd have laid down and died because I wouldn't have had a reason to get back up. Because at that time, my kid was mostly grown, very self-sufficient. I didn't think they needed me. But the highest my score ever got, even after my husband died, was a 9. I can look back at events in my life and the tears come to my eyes. I can still smile through that and remember the times that were good and know that that was the best decision that I ever made. For me, for my family, for my future. Because of TMS and because of the therapy that accompanies that, I have coping skills that allow me to look back and say, this was the worst time in my life, and it didn't destroy me. TMS was a last-ditch effort, but it doesn't have to be. There are so many opportunities today to treat depression with. You don't have to suffer through drug roulette. You don't have to not do anything about it. You don't have to be miserable. You know, if you have insurance that covers it, and even if you don't have insurance that covers it, when I did it, it was still experimental and insurance didn't cover it, and it was worth every penny. You get your life back. You get you back. You get to discover who you are without that black cloud enveloping every moment of every day. You get to enjoy your family and enjoy your downtime. Yes, TMS is time consuming. Yes, it's a commitment. Yes, it's expensive. But if you're dead, none of that matters. If you have a family that you want them to know who you are, and you want to know who they are, and you want to be able to participate in life, if you just want to be alive, it is so worth the expense and the time. I love Dr. Handoo. He truly takes the time to listen. He truly, genuinely cares. And he's very passionate about helping people overcome depression and anxiety and living their best life. And when you're excited about something, he's excited about that something. And he's just incredibly supportive and very can-do. And maybe it's the Mountain Dew that helps him, I don't know. But he's a good egg.